Hi guys, it's me, Dr. Nathan. You're welcome to Real Health Revealed. Today we are talking about mental health and mental illness. We're going to talk about how to identify when you have a challenge with your mental health and then also practical ways of how to deal with it. I'd like us to get started. So, mental health is when you have psychological, behavioral, and social well-being. The WHO also says that mental health is when you are able to realize who you are or realize your abilities, and you're able to cope with normal life stressful events, and then being able to be productive and fruitful at work and contributing to your community. This has to do with how you interact with people, how you see things, and how you behave normally. Now, mental illness is a group of diseases that has to do with the way you think, the way you act, and then the way you react to things around you or different situations. Some examples of mental illness are anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and then schizophrenia or bipolar disease. Now, some of the causes of mental illness are varied. Now, we have to talk about hereditary causes. So, there could be a family history of mental illnesses. Another important thing is also our environmental factors. How did you grow up? Where did you grow up? What are the things that you are used to seeing and doing? And then the stressful events in our life can also have an impact on our mental health. Other important risk factors I would like us to take note are drugs, alcohol, and even child abuse. These are some of the things that can contribute to mental illness, and we should make sure that we take note of them very carefully. Now, some of the signs of mental illness will really depend on what you have. So I spoke about some of the different types of mental illnesses that are out there. So I'll give you a few examples. Okay, with anxiety, you might have something like your heart racing. You might be sweating a lot. You get into a certain situation and you feel like the whole world is about to end. There's this sense of impending doom. That is anxiety. And then we have something like depression, where you'll be sad, you've lost interest in a lot of things. You might feel guilty. Your energy will be very low. You even have thoughts of suicide or even harming yourself or people around you. That's something that has to do with depression. Another example is post-traumatic stress disorder. For a lot of our men in the military or in the security services, after facing difficult times in the war zone, when they come back to the community, you realize that there might be things that would remind them of those stressful situations out there. You might hear a motorcycle give a loud noise and you might think it's, gunshots or shelling that is going on. That puts a lot of fear, and then you tend to react in a very fearful or in a way that prevents you from being able to function normally. You can also have something like bipolar disorder, where somebody might be very active and talking about a lot of things, going all over the place, very happy and doing all the crazy things out there. This will last for a few days, and then the next few days they become very depressed. They are very set off from other people. They are sad, and then they become, lonely, and then have those suicidal thoughts that are similar to depression. That is something that is what happens in bipolar disorder. So these are some of the signs and symptoms that can present when you have a mental illness. I want us to first of all know that when a loved one has a mental illness, this is not the time to stigmatize them. This is not the time to shun them or to say negative things towards them. This is a time to be supportive and to be there for them. That is the first step you need to take. And being supportive means that you can also seek care for them. So first of all, you can talk to your doctor. You can also talk to a licensed professional psychologist. These are the very first steps you can take to help someone who has a mental illness. Okay, so this year, World Mental Health Day was celebrated on 10th of October. And this year, we are looking at the broad heading of great investments and then great access. We've been faced with a huge challenge this year, COVID-19. This pandemic has wreaked havoc across the world. And because of this, there's been serious mental health implications. Healthcare workers are scared of taking COVID-19 back home. Students are now having to learn at home and learn online. This is causing a lot of changes and discomfort. People are losing their jobs, causing economical issues. So poverty is another issue. So we have people getting depressed, people getting anxious. And this year, World Mental Health Day was meant to raise awareness about mental health and then also to cause governments and nations to invest into mental health and then increase access for people to get the help that they need. Yes, there are a number of facilities that can help in mental illness. They are varied from the government side to the private side. Down in the south, we have the Accra Psychiatric Hospital and other mental health units at Kolebu Teaching Hospital at 37. And you can also have psychologists, trained psychologists at different private facilities. There are also online portals and telephone consults that you can do with trained, licensed psychologists and counselors that can help when you have mental health issues. Now, let's debunk some of those crazy myths you have about mental illness. Man, this is so not true. There are many types of mental illnesses and they present very differently. Some people might be sad, some people might have other things, but they are not all violent. Once you're on medication or you have the right treatment, you can function normally. Depression is very real. It is something that affects a lot of people. It's not a sign of weakness. It's just how someone has not been able to take care of some stressful situations. But they can, with the right help, deal with life stressful issues. Children do experience mental health issues from a very young age, from being toddlers to their teenage years. They express different things that can give us indications to their mental illness. So we do have to make sure that we pay attention to their mental health. Self-care is so very important. You out there have to make sure that you are finding different ways of taking care of yourself. It can be rest, relaxation, taking a break or a holiday, music. But don't belittle this thing. Self-care is very important. Here are some helpful tips about mental illness. First of all, it's important for you to make sure you get someone, a close friend or a family member you can talk to when things get tough. You are not superhuman, so don't keep everything in. Get someone you can talk to. Also, you can seek professional help anytime you have a mental health challenge. Avoid stressful situations as much as possible. And then also, do not neglect self-care. It can be as simple as going out to eat with your partner or with friends, taking some time off work, or even praying, getting a massage, meditating. It's also very important for you to prevent and avoid stigmatization. Anytime someone has a mental health issue, be supportive. Don't tease, don't say negative things. Be loving and caring as much as possible. So I hope you've learned a lot today about mental health and mental illness, how you can prevent it, what to look out for, and then also how you can get help if you have a mental health challenge. Thank you for watching till the end. A new episode drops this and every Saturday at 12 p.m. GMT. Subscribe to this channel, like this video. Join us on social media, comment in the section below. And remember to stay healthy, guys. Thank you.